Your girl is taking a leap of, I don't know if it's crazy and maybe, because it might be faith at 51%, okay? But I'm applying for this internship. Everybody, what is up? It's your girl Riian Allia. And listen, the past 3 days have been literally crazy. And like, as many of you know, I'm documenting this kind of just to show what God is taking me through in this process of trusting him. So y'all know I've been getting rejected for all these jobs. What I've come to understand is that even in those rejection letters, each one is bringing me closer to what I'm supposed to do, right? There was this thing that I wanted to do last year that I couldn't, well, that I felt like I couldn't do because it was a year, it was out of town. My church was just kind of like starting to like get off the ground, and I felt like I was responsible for too many things to just leave. And I don't know what else I thought really at the time, but I was just like very fearful to just leave. And so I didn't apply for it. A couple of weeks ago, I got this DM on Instagram from one of my friends, Deanne, and she sent me a video that I hadn't seen, because I don't really, sometimes I scroll on Instagram, but sometimes I really just don't. But Pastor Michael Todd, Transformation Church, posted the video for their formation internship, and she sent that link to me. She shared it with me. She shared the post with me. So I was like, I had already done this research before, because mind you, I already wanted to do it last year. Well, it would have been like I would have been doing it this year, but I already wanted to apply for it last year, right? So she was like, oh my gosh, you should totally do this. And I'm thinking to myself, like, girl, you know that like you have to be like out of, like, you have to relocate in order to do this internship. And so it kind of like re-sparked like what I wanted to do last year, but I kind of just like dusted it off, because in my mind I'm like, again, I work on the media team at church, okay? So I felt like I had too much responsibility. That's the word, that's the phrase I was looking for. Too much responsibility to just leave. Kind of just moving back my mind again. And then later that same day, my mom calls me and she's like, hey, like I met this guy at Gap. She's a manager at Gap. She's like, hey, I met this guy at Gap, and he does like media and stuff for his church. And he was telling me about this Transformation Church internship and all this stuff. And he was like, oh my gosh, your daughter should totally do it. Whoop-de-whoop. And I was like, it's the second time I didn't heard about this, and it came from my mom this time. So I was like, yeah, like I heard about it, like I already talked to Dick about it or whatever. And like I already looked it up, because I'm a researcher, so I looked up the price, how long it would, like the dates, like all the details multiple times, and I'm like, ooh, I don't got it. There's an application fee that it's like I have the money for, but I don't have the money for, because my student loan payments just started this month. So this month is September, and it's September 13th today. Okay, September 13th, 2019. My student loan payments just started this month for $200 and something a month. Also, my car needs, I don't remember if I said this on another video, but I need all 4 new tires, something about some leaky shocks. There's a screw in one of my, not a nail, but a screw in one of my tires, and then all the rest of them were just bad, I guess. And a whole bunch of other long lists. That whole thing to pay for like all the things that need to be fixed on my car is like $1,300. And I have my credit card to pay off, because that interest rate is stupid. 6.8%. I'm trying to get that mug paid off and shredded, okay? I don't even use my credit card like that, but I haven't been able to make the payments that I used to make big payments on them. I used to make purchases and then pay the whole purchase off. And when the money started going down, those payments weren't very big, so I paid the minimum. So it's not over it can't be over my limit because that's a limit, but it's way over what it's supposed to be, so it keeps charging me interest. I'm like, listen, the amount of money it's gonna take me to even do the internship, and I'm a very logical person. The amount of money it's gonna take me to do the internship, and the amount of money I have in my account even now, and the car, all these things, it's not where I'm located. It's not that far from where I'm located. It's only an hour and a half away, which is great. But even just the commute back and forth to the building would be like an hour a day. So I'm just like, y'all gotta understand, when I left, I just went to go get an oil change. When I left the shop, they told me that I should not be driving my car down the street because that's how bad my tires were. So I was so scared to drive. That's what I'm about to say. That I keep saying Memorial Day. On Labor Day, my boyfriend took me to this random healthy tea place, and like them healthy tea drinks people be drinking, and his friends own it. And one of the friends he had in there, he wrote a book, and so we were just in there like chilling for like a cool minute. And my boyfriend was like, "Hey, bro, my girl wrote a book. You wrote a book, yeah." Like to try to like initiate a conversation because he was playing ping pong. And I'm like, okay, that's a great introduction and random. But anywho, so me and the guy started talking, and randomly he was like, "Hey, have you heard of the Transformation Church internship?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I'm kind of thinking about going." Because at this point, I'm like, okay, guy, like you may be trying to say a little something to me. A little something. So maybe I'll apply. And in my mind, the application fee, I was like, listen, I will apply. And if I don't get it, okay, this is how I rationalize with myself. And if I don't get it, the application fee is just me sewing into the ministry. Okay, that's how cause like, what's the harm in applying, you know? But then I realized like my fear wasn't even that I wouldn't get it. Yo, my fear was that I would get it. And I think that's what the enemy tries to do to us. Like, I'm not even in my comfort zone at all in life right now anyways, right? But I also feel like there is a next level to not the discomfort, even though kind of true in a sense, but I feel like there's a next level to what God is doing in me right now. And right now at this moment, I don't feel like I have anyone like discipling me, like really just like discipling me. And that can be really disheartening because it's like I'm trying to figure like everything out on my own. Like I have peers, people my same age, but I feel like I don't have like anyone that's like older than me who's like gone through this like at least 10 years, 7 years or like something. Like significantly older than me who's like gone through these things, who can walk me through X, Y, and Z, who can walk me through stepping out on faith, who can walk me through like not having the source of income but trusting God anyways. Like I don't feel like there's anyone in the generation above me that has done that specifically for me. And so, or I feel like the people that I do know like just may not have the time to do it, and so I don't even want to ask. So that could partially be on me. But sometimes you can just tell that people are already like overwhelmed. And me having mentored or discipled other people, I also know how that feels. And if you don't have the capacity to pour individually, then whatever you're pouring may not be the best, because your mind is in so many different places. And I've even had to step back and be like, okay, like I need to like figure what's happening with me before I try to pour into you, because I don't want to harm you or whatever. So anywho, back to the story. Talking to this guy at the tea place, and we started talking about we weren't even talking about the internship again. We were just talking, and I think I was telling him kind of my story about like how I didn't have a job and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, my mom, she was talking to this guy at Gap, and he was talking about the Transformation Church internship. And he stopped me and he was like, oh my gosh, that's your mom? And I was like, oh my gosh, you're the guy? Like, it was crazy because I had never like met him before. Him and my boyfriend are like friends, but they're cool. And so like I never met him before or anything like that. And so I was just like, whoa, like this is all happening like within the same week. And I told God before, I was like, yo, I didn't say yo, but I was like, Lord, like, if you want me to apply for this, like, if you want me to do this, like, I need a sign, because you already know my situation, and I ain't got yes, funds to put into this, like, nothing. So I was just like, oh my gosh, like, this was the third time. I said 3 times, Lord. This was the 3rd time. Let me tell you something about God, right? He's like so dope and so intentional, so specific about our needs. But I already heard it 3 times. And I told it to one of my friends, and she was like, oh, you're gonna get it. Like, oh, do it. Like, why aren't you just apply it? Like, just do it. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, see how fear is so crippling? Like, so it was just like the church thing. I'm like, I don't want to, mind you, I'm only working at the Gap here right now. Like, I'm not even, like, this will be the best time for me to go. Anyways, I'm not married. I ain't got no kids. I have bills, but people got way more bills than I got. And listen, I'm 24, about to be 25. Like, when am I gonna be able to quit a job for 6 months? Like, I feel like if I'm disobedient in this season, then it's gonna cost me more in the next season. So this past week, yesterday, the day before that, I went to a Transformation Church V1 conference. Now listen, I wasn't even supposed to be there. Like, the tickets were released. Tickets were released after I didn't have a job. The beginning of the year, January 1, is when I really didn't have like a job at all. Like, no Gap, like no nothing. Like, this was like nothing. No, nothing. Tickets were released, and I was like, yo, like I really want to go. I was talking to a group of my friends about it. They're praise dancers at church, and like, one of my friends gave, y'all, if I could just go through the list. If I could just go through an A through Z list. We ain't even on Z yet. Of how God has provided, like, in this 9 months. Oh my gosh. So, one of the dancers, her name is Samantha. I love you, Sam, if you ever see this. She got my ticket. And I think that's another thing that God is like teaching me in this season is really just humility, because I don't like asking for stuff. I don't like owe anybody nothing. I don't like asking for help. Like, I'm like, and I don't know where it came from. I don't know if it's like, I don't want anyone to feel like they're holding something over me, like I owe them something. I don't know. But God is just really like teaching me humility in this season in a fatherly way. Like, not in a, I'm gonna humble you, like, kind of way, but like really teaching me the beauty of humbling yourself so that he doesn't have to, and what it means when the scripture says humble yourself under the mighty hand of God and he will lift you up in due time. So the main things for me is in due time, but primarily humility, because even as a person who isn't like I'm the biggest and I'm the best, there are types of pride that doesn't have to be arrogant. But that is just like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's just like so inside yourself that you're like, I don't want anyone to help me, because either you feel like you don't deserve it, or like, I don't know, there's just like a different type of pride that may even be more dangerous whenever you don't even recognize that what you have is pride. Like when you think that your pride is helpful. So like me thinking that if I stay out the way and don't ask for help and suffer in silence is helpful to other people, right? Because that's saying that I can handle everything, and that's prideful, because to be completely honest, your girl needs all the help, okay? Well, anywho, she gave me this ticket and said like, I don't want anything back for it. Like, I'm sewing into you. And I'm just like, yo, what is happening? Like, what is happening right now? I wasn't supposed to be at this conference. And she ended up not even being able to go because of work. And so it's just crazy to think about. But all throughout the conference, it's just been like confirmation after confirmation, like, go. Like, you're supposed to do it, go. In my church, like, they're hiring people to help with more things. And so I'm not the sole person who has to be responsible for all of these things. I'm already like being transitioned out of like different types of responsibilities. More people are stepping up in leadership in like different groups. And so it's like, can't use that excuse. So yeah, anywho, I just wanted to update y'all on all of that. And that your girl is taking a leap of, I don't know if it's crazy, and maybe, because it might be faith at 51%, okay? But I'm applying for this internship